everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm joined by Rachel Hoyle from Nucleotide Nutrition. It is the most fascinating arena, and I have to say it's been a real eye-opener for me to learn about the science of nucleotide nutrition from Rachel. Rachel's company is, as I say, Nucleotide Nutrition. They are a CMA approved supplier. Now, approved supplier membership is not easy to come by. You have to really be going above and beyond the call of duty as far as your research is concerned, as far as the types of products and services that you provide into the profession. So this is why we're incredibly proud to have Rachel with us. Rachel, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Nice to be involved with this. It's really good.
Yes, well, it's exciting because you see, the thing is that when we first started speaking, I think what happened was that you'd sent me some information about the use of nucleotide nutrition in conjunction with long COVID. And I looked at it and I thought, gosh, that's really interesting. But, you know, with my sort of geeky hat on, it was always a case of, well, so, you know, where's the research? You know, why are you saying this? And of course, what happened, everybody, is that Rachel came back to me with a ton of research, which literally blew my socks off, because I have to say, I was very much in the dark about nucleotide nutrition. And I don't know if you've come across it at all. But Rachel, could you possibly start by explaining a little bit about what nucleotides actually are? Because I know that people I've spoken to are not up to speed with this at all, despite, you know, their level of training. So if you could give us an overview, that would be fabulous.
Oh, thanks, Janie. No, absolutely, no problem with that. Well, we certainly feel that nucleotides have been a neglected part of nutrition. Nucleotides themselves are one of the oldest molecules that you'll find. Scientists believe they're one of the first molecules at the start of life on Earth. So they've been around a long time, put it that way. And indeed, they are used. You may be aware, if you looked on the side of infant formula first milk, you'll see that there's nucleotides added into the first milk. And the reason for this is that mother's milk is full of nucleotides, and what I'll go on to explain is what nucleotides are and why they're important. So first off, you'll want to know what nucleotides are, and basically they're the building blocks to nucleic acids. There are 5 main nucleotides that are really important to our bodies because they actually make up a number of different molecules and nucleic acids, and we'll go on to talk about that. But the 5 nucleotides really are split into 2 types. There's the purines, and then there's the pyrimidines. There are 2 purines, adenosine and guanosine, and then there are 3 pyrimidines, and they're called Cytidine, Thymidine and Uridine. So, as I say, those are the 5 main ones that make up a number of different molecules, which we'll talk about now.
Okay, lovely. So, Rachel, could you tell me, just give us a quick overview, what are nucleotides best known for?
Well, they're best known for being the building blocks of DNA and RNA. So they are absolutely central to life and our genetics. If you imagine a nucleotide, which you will be aware is like forms a code. So the nucleotide, which is 3 parts, there's the nucleobase, which has normally got a capital letter. So, for instance, adenosine would have a capital letter A, and guanosine would have G. So those are the purines, and they're often referred to as A and G. And you'll see, if you look at a DNA structure or RNA, you'll see that they have AG, they have C and T, or in the case of RNA, they'll have U. So the important thing is that it's the nucleotides that help form the code that's in the DNA, and they are, if you like, the backbone of these very important nucleic acids that live in our cells. So yeah, they're best known for being the building blocks of DNA and RNA.
Right, okay, thank you. So moving on from there, can you please describe the new cell replication process in relation to nucleotides? Because obviously that is highly, it's highly relevant, isn't it, to the whole picture?
Absolutely. So a cell lasts for so long. I mean, it depends on what sort of cell it is and where it's being used in the body, which type of cell. So, but when the cell dies, what happens is the DNA actually then splits and then becomes and forms the two new cells that appear from a dying cell. So when the DNA splits, the first part, if you like, of the whole process of developing the new cells is to split the DNA and then start doing the rebuild. And that whole process probably takes about 8 hours, because the body's got to find the nucleotides to form the new strands of the DNA, because it's got to replicate exactly the DNA that was there before. So it uses the one strand that has come and is forming in the new cell to then replicate up to form the DNA, and of course the RNA as well.
Right.
But that's 8 hours. That's quite a long time, and that's such an important process, and relies on there being sufficient of the different nucleotides to form the new DNA. The last part, and that in fact that's called the interphase. The last part of it is very quick. It's about 20 minutes, and that's when the whole thing is formed, and you've got the new cell. So another thing it's important to understand, that for each cell, in terms of DNA, you need over 1 billion nucleotides. So the body is building them all the time, and we'll go on to find out how the body gets its nucleotides. But there's a lot of them about, especially in cellular replication.
Yes, well, it's a good job there are a lot of them about. As I understand, it's up to 3 billion, and that's because there is a big demand for new cells in the human body. Rachel, can you expand a little on the scale of that, on that demand for new cells?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as we know, the human body isn't a static entity. It's constantly dying. The cells are dying and then rebuilding. So there's a constant renewal going on. And if you imagine, the total number of cells in the body is around about 100 trillion. I mean, I'm having to note that down. I can't keep these figures in my head, they're so big. And every minute you're looking at about 50 million new cells are being formed. So we're talking a lot of nucleotides being needed. If you imagine, if there's about 3 billion in each DNA strand, so there's a lot going on.
The numbers are actually astronomical if you think of how many strands of DNA we have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, those are very big numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, and I'm gonna read this as well. So we've worked out that for the body needs up to about 150 quadrillion nucleotides per second. Now, I had to look this one up. This is 15 zeros in a quadrillion.
Wow. Okay, that's absolutely incredible.
So I mean, they're central to all the things going on in the body, and as I say, we'll go into that later.
Yes, yes. I remember you telling me that the human body breaks down between 10 and 50 million cells per minute and replaces them with new cells. But you were saying also that when there are new infections, the cell production can rise to over 50 million body cells per second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I mean, it's just completely, we have no idea what our bodies are actually doing, have we really?
It's completely balmy.
Yeah.
But it also makes it quite unbelievable, you know. It makes you think, well, how can the body possibly get all these? And but then that's, you know, we have special bodies, and yeah.
Yeah,
respect to the body.
Yeah, absolutely. Massive respect to the body. Absolutely, yes. And also, I know that, you know, it's interesting. You were saying also for single cell division, 3 billion nucleotides are needed. So obviously, that is that ongoing thing. And you know, it is absolutely astronomical. It's just extraordinary. It truly, truly is. So I think what we'll do is we will finish at this point for this introduction.
Yeah.
And then I think what we'll do is we'll ask, you know, for anybody who's watching, underneath this video, there's a little down arrow at the right bottom side of the video. If you've got any questions at all, then please feel free to drop them there. Or you'll also have Rachel's contact details. So I'm sure, Rachel, would it be okay if anybody has any questions or needs anything sort of expanded upon, we can actually answer, you know, you can answer.
Absolutely, no problem. And what I want to make clear is that, you know, there's a lot of science in here, and what we don't want to do is blind people in the first instance. But I have a Dropbox. I have so much information, published papers, articles, presentations, a lot of resource, and people can, you know, look at those, get in contact with me, and I shall supply with them with what they need.
Well, that's it. I mean, actually, it's really interesting, Rachel, because the thing is, you know, it's when we first started speaking and we were looking at bringing you on board with the Complementary Medical Association as approved suppliers, I was just completely blown away by the level of research and quantity of research, and it's so robust. So massive hats off to you, really, you know, massive respect to our boys, but massive respect to you as well in the work that you do, because it really is truly amazing. No, so thank you very much indeed, Rachel. This has been super. Stay with us, everybody, because the next episode is going to be where we're going to be talking about sources of nucleotides, where we're going to go a little bit deeper, and obviously with Rachel. So come back for that next session. So stay tuned.
See you later.